Welcome, welcome everybody. Come on in, say hello.
Sorry,
So we are working on a St. Patrick's Day wreath tonight. Here's our little guy Lucky. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that every year I do one of these wreaths. We've nicknamed him Lucky. That was the name he was given the first year I did it. All right, so let's get started. So anyway, we're using Lucky. All right, so if you know anything about these embellishments or these attachments, they're called shelf setters, really is what they're for. But we use them as wreath attachments. If you know, they come with weight in them. That weight is usually this bag of dirt that so I take these out, throw it out. I don't keep it. I fill them with fiber fill, like you would use if you were making a pillow or something. And then I sew them back up. I don't ever glue them, I sew them. Hello, everybody. Welcome, thank you. So that makes him lighter when you put him on the wreath, easier to attach, and it doesn't weigh it doesn't add to your shipping when you're shipping your wreath. So because his name is Lucky, I always look for a little sign that has Lucky on it. Hey Josh. And this one I found, it was a smaller one, but it says "You're my lucky charm," so it's got the Lucky name on it. And then we've got these little wooden shamrocks that we're going to use. These are like little wall hangers, but we'll leave the metal thing on, but we're gonna use those in here. Of course, we have our bow. My hand is okay right now. It's a little sore, but I'm good. Thank you for asking. I am going to use some 10-inch curls, and we are going to do 12-inch poofs with the 21-inch mesh. So we're going to use that. And then I've got some other extras over here, some little shamrocks and things like that. And then we have this big shamrock that we're going to add in too. Now when you get one of these, and he comes from Big Lots. I don't know if anybody else carries them, but I get them from Big Lots. And when I see them, I get a couple every year, and that way I have them for the next year. But he comes with this little shamrock, felt shamrock glued to his hand. I take it off. I don't use it. We add it to the pile over there. And we're going to put something else. We'll probably put one of these smaller ones in his hand, or one of the coins, because we have these little gold coins. So we might use that. But then, like I said, I have these bigger ones I want to use. I have a dark green, and the light green. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet, but I put one of each out. All right. And then we've got our ribbons. Welcome, welcome. First timer now you're a follower from the marathon. Well, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. Please be sure to say hello if you are new, because I do go back and welcome you after the live. All right, so we have our green with the glittered shamrocks that we're going to use. I have the green with the stripe. I have a black Swiss dot. And then we have the green with the shamrocks on it. Let me turn I had my TV on. I was watching some stuff, and I need to turn that off. I had the sound off already, but it was messing up anyway. And I don't want it to mess with my internet, because I don't need any more problems. All right, so those are the ribbons that we're going to use. The ribbons are cut at 13 inches. All right, guys, let's get started. So I apologize if I've missed anybody. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you're new, my name is Dawn. This is Wreath Decor by Dawn. I am here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern and Friday at 2:30 Eastern. All right, I'm using a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame. I have 18 ties on here, 10 on the outside and 8 on the inside. If you have never used a frame like this before or done your own, you might want to you might want to learn how to do them if you've never done them before, because there is a shortage on wreath work frames. So, and that happened when I started. That's why I started making my own, because when I started making these wreaths, there was a shortage on wreath frames, the work frames. So I made my own, and I've just stuck with it. I use the others when I have them, or if I find a good deal on them or something, but I prefer to make my own, because you can do them however you want. Thank you, Cindy. There's my daughter, Cindy. She's our virtual bartender. So if you want something to drink, there it is. She lined the bar up. Just grab your drink. So I have a video on this on my YouTube channel. that you can find. It's got a green thumbnail on it, and it says how to make a wreath frame. It's only a short video. It takes about 5-7 minutes. So I'm going to move you guys back a little bit. Excuse me. I'm going to gather this up. This is a 21-inch mesh that I got from Craft Outlet. It is black, green, and white. And I like to start on the top when I'm doing my poofs. And I look for two pipe cleaners that are, or ties that are very close to each other, top and bottom, so that when I transition to the bottom, there won't be a huge gap. Hey, Sherry. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you wouldn't mind sharing this, I would really appreciate that. Let your friends know we're here. Maybe they'd like to come and watch. It also puts it on your page so that you can watch it again later if you miss anything, or if you just want to see it again, see the replay again. My hand is still a little weak, so it's hard for me to get a grip on things still because that wound is right there in my palm. I do have it covered up tonight because it has been, it's all dried out. It's drying out, so it's starting to scab, and it's starting, the skin is, it's kind of like when you get a sunburn and your skin starts to peel. It's doing that. So I needed to cover it up to make sure nothing gets in there. And you know, with glitter and everything else that we use, it gets everywhere, so better safe than sorry. I did find one stitch that they forgot to take out today. I was on the phone with my husband, and I'm like looking at my thing, and I'm like, there's a blue line in there. Why is it blue? It was a stitch they forgot to take out, so it came out when the skin came off my hand, so but other than that, I'm doing good. It's healing nicely. My hand is now rehydrated. It doesn't look like it's 100 years old anymore. All right, so I like to do 12-inch poofs. That's just my preference. Most people do 10, so if you want to do 10, do 10. Miss Carla, how are you? Hey, Brenda. Hi, Joy. All right, and then we're going to pull out these poofs because we want them to look really nice and full. And I like to keep the sides not tucked under, but off to the side. And I don't measure exact. I just go out to about 12 inches. So how's everybody's week going? I had the baby on Monday. Well, Sunday I did the marathon. So Sunday night the baby was here. He spent the night and was here all day on Monday for me to watch him because Mama and Daddy had to work. And he is a little Energizer bunny. That thing, oh my gosh, that kid don't stop for nothing. He wore me. It wasn't even noon and I was exhausted. I don't know how anybody does it anymore. I'm too old for that, man. I love him to death, but good God, he needs to slow down a little bit. He just, one minute he's into something, you get him out of it, and the next you turn around, before you even turn around, he's into something else. He has this thing now about pulling things off of the shelves, you know, little ceramic things that I have on my shelves, and he likes to pull them off. And the bad thing about it is when you go to get them from him, he likes to drop them. It's like, oh, I know I'm not supposed to have this. She's coming. Let me drop it. The bad thing is they're ceramic. And he drops them on the floor. Hey, Canada. How are you? Well, welcome, Judy. This is your second live. I'm so happy you came back. We try to have a lot of fun on Wednesday nights. Susan will be on. All right. So there's where we started right here with this tie. And then there's this other tie right below it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take my mesh and we're going to gather it up and I'm going to pull it straight down just in front of that tie, and I'm going to zip tie it to the frame. Now you don't have to do it this way. This is just the way I do it. If I can get my fingers in there and get them to work. It is a pretty mesh, and I love this mesh, and I buy it every year, usually for St. Patrick's Day. It's also good for if you make the frog wreaths. But I really like this mesh. I think I use it every year with the same thing, but I just do it, you know, add the other stuff is different. But I always use it as a base. But I did use it when I made the that frog wreath that I did, not last year, but the year before, I think. All right, so we're going to gather this back up. Make sure your sides are down and not up. That way your poof looks nice. We're going to go through this pipe cleaner. We're going to skip it. We'll come back to it and end up there. We're going to go to the next pipe cleaner and put the mesh in there. It's got that foil in it, so it really sparkles. But I just love the colors. It is in my shop. It's listed in there as made on Facebook Live. Yeah, it's got just a hint of the black in it, which he's got the black and the light green and the dark green, which has got all of that right in here and with the in this mesh. And that lime green just kind of sparkles because that's what's got the foil in it. That's what makes it so pretty, is that little shimmer. Hello, hey Teresa. So again, if you're new to my page, make sure that you follow us. Give us a thumbs up there. Say hello. I like to go back after my live and give you a warm welcome and say hello. But I can't do that if you don't tell me that you're new. We're going to open up these poofs and get them nice and full. That's why I like a 12-inch poof. It just really fills it out a lot better. A 10-inch is not bad, but 12 is just, to me, it's better. We're almost done. It's just a little slow going. Oh, thank you, Joanne. I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys. That was rough for 2 weeks. I had nothing to do. I could come up here and fill a couple of small orders that I had, but oh, we are at the end. It was rough trying to do it all one-handed because I had that brace on my hand and I couldn't take it off. All right, where'd it go? There it is. So that was hard. Yeah, the mesh came from Craft Outlet. And it's still real tender, so if I hit it with something, you know, it's sensitive. But we're doing good. I was saying at the beginning, I found that they left one of the stitches in. I had to pull it out tonight. All right, so I take my end and I stick it in between poofs, and then I bring it to the back. And we're going to zip tie it down. Well, I missed you guys too. But Kathy did a fabulous job. Oh my gosh, I love that stuff she was working on. Those hats, if you didn't see it, It's still on my page. You can go back and watch the videos. Oh, do you? Did you get yours at Big Lots too? Hey, sissy. Yeah, I get them every year at Big Lots. I get a couple of them. Ouch. This year they had a couple of gnomes. See, it's real hard to grasp things still with that hand, but I'm right-handed, so. But yeah, I get them at Big Lots. All right, so there's our base. Look how pretty that is. Mesh came from Craft Outlet, and I can give you the numbers right here. It is RE as in Edward 1070E as in Edward W. Now look what I got. I don't even drink coffee, but I got me a couple of these. It's got my logo on it. They had a sale and I got some stuff. I got a mouse pad and coffee cups and some bags. For a household that only has 2 coffee drinkers, my husband and my mom, we sure have a lot of coffee cups. And none of them ever get used. Anybody else got a cupboard full of coffee cups that don't get used? All right, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to take, so if you just joined or you joined after I started, we are using Mr. Lucky here. The first year I did him, that was the name that everybody gave him, was Lucky. So every year I make a wreath with him in it. We make a different wreath every year. And I always try to find the little sign that has his name on it. And this is the little one I found this year. It says, "You are my lucky charm." So we're going to use that. We've got some wooden shamrocks here that we're going to use. Of course, we have our bow. I have some 10-inch black and white that I'm going to use for curls. We have, I'm not using both of these. I'm going to use one. Shamrocks that we'll put in there, or 4-leaf clovers. I don't know which they are. These look like shamrocks. Shamrocks only have 3, what'd you call them on them? 4-leaf clovers, of course, have 4. I was corrected about that my first year, so I make sure to remember it now. All right, and then we're going to use this green and white stripe, which goes with his legs. We've got the green with the glittered shamrocks, 4-leaf clovers. That one's got 4 leaves on it, so that's a 4-leaf clover. The black and white, or black with Swiss dots, and then the green with the shamrocks. All right, so we're going to use those. We'll do those at the same time as the curls. So I'm just going to use 1 curl in each one. And the only reason I did that is because this is leftover mesh, and I'm trying to use up leftover mesh. I have a ton of it over here, and I need to get rid of it. All right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a light curl on these. I'm not going to make it tight, and I don't need my dowel for it. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to put our ribbons on top. So I have the striped with the glittered shamrocks. And we're going to put these into each tie. All right, so there's that one. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to move these curls up and pull these ribbons down. All right, we've got one more to go. And then we can put Mr. Lucky on here. I need one of those people that does organization and come over here and do my, organize my stuff. Keep buying things to get me organized, and none of them seem to get me organized. All right, so there we go. Fold those down. All right, so what do? I told you he comes with usually a bag of sand or dirt in his bum. I take it out, I cut open the seam here, take out the bag, sew it back up. I don't glue it, I always sew it back up. Sorry, my nose is itching right now because of the glitter and stuff. So you can probably see the little white line there. That way when I go to put the wire in it, it's sewn and it's not glued, so I don't have to worry about it coming apart. But anyway, I take that out and I fill it with the fiber fill, like you would use to stuff a pillow or whatnot. And then he has usually a felt shamrock glued to his hand. I take that off because we'll put something else there. And now we're going to put his wire in. Hello, hello. All right, so I'm using 26 gauge wire. And we're going to get 2 long pieces off here. Probably more than I need, but I'd rather have more than not enough. Thank you for following. I appreciate that. All right, so we've got those 2. Let me grab my needle here. All right, so now I have the, I use the metal needle for this because it's thinner. The eye of it is not as big, so it won't leave as big a hole. But you could use the plastic ones depending on what the thickness of your material is. These are the plastic ones that I sell in my shop. You get a pack of 3. They are $5.50. That includes your shipping. And I'll show you how I use those when we get to the other attachments. But for this one, I use my metal one. It's a long metal one that I have. Put the wire on the end of it. I'm going to pull that through. And then I'm going to twist it. And then I'm going to give it a shot of glue. Just because I don't want that material to rip. And then that's going to come out. So this way it'll keep everything together. So it's not very much, just a little bit. While that's drying, we are going to put another one on the back of his head. And for this one, I usually go through the back of the hat, the brim of the hat, because the hat is sewn onto him. But I'm going to go through this. Yep, this wreath is listed in my shop for anyone that's interested, along with all of my other wreaths and supplies. I don't have any kits right now, but I do have some ribbon and sign sets, but I don't have any kits right now. Hopefully next month. All right, so there's our glue. I don't need glue on that one. Also on the backs of the wooden shamrocks, I did staple a pipe cleaner for each of those so that I could attach those, and on the sign. All right, let's get him on here. Well, hello, Just Peachy Designs. How are you? I like that. I wish these fibers would stop itching my nose, though. All right, so on the top here where we're going to put him, I'm looking to see where I want to put him. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these ties. we aren't going to need to put anything in there, so I'll cut those down and we will fold that pipe cleaner down so that it doesn't stick anybody. Alright, Mr. Lucky is going in right here. Alright, so now I'll use the plastic needles. So like I said, you get a set of 3 of these in a resealable bag. They're the colors vary, so you don't get any specific colors. But these have the big eye on them, so you can use them for different things. These are great for grapevines, getting in between those tight weave of the grapevines. They can't, because they'll bend. You can also use them if you crochet or knit for sewing off your ends. And they're great for teaching kids how to sew as well. So I'm going to take both wires, put it through there, and I'm going to go right down through the mesh. This makes getting this stuff on so much easier. Good night, Joanne. So it's on there, that wire's through there. All I have to do now is put those wires around the frame wires, the rings. And then we're going to twist it off. And I am going to pull down just a little on him because I want him to look like he's sitting there, not like he's just hanging off of the wreath. So I want him to look like he's sitting. And the only bad thing about these 10-inch mesh is that they like to stick to his jacket. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with this hat. Alright, so we're going to go right down in here again. Go straight down. Now his head, I'm not going to pull that too tight, because I don't want his face and his neck to look sunk in. So you just want him to lay on top. And make sure that you're attaching your wires around the wreath frame, not the mesh. If you attach it around the mesh, it may not stay for long, because these wires can rip out. Alright, there we go. There. And then we can always let him cross his legs or fold his leg over. You could even tack it there if you want it in place, but I'm not going to do that now. Make sure I move my needles out of the way. I don't want to lose them. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Alright, so there's Lucky. Like I said, I do one of him every year. Unless I get another order for him, then I'll do more. But usually I just do one. Yeah, the 21-inch doesn't, because the ends are kind of tucked under. So that you don't have those edges grabbing onto stuff that you put on your wreath. But the 10-inch has got the ends right here. And they're kind of like little pins that stick out. Pins probably isn't the right word, but alright, so I think I'm going to put the bow at the bottom, and we're going to put the big old shamrock up here. We're going to cut the stick down, of course. So I think I'm going to put this over here. So again, we're going to grab that needle. Let me get rid of this tie right here because I don't need it. But yeah, normally you won't have things sticking to your 21-inch mesh like that, like you do with the 10. I think it's just because the 10-inch, the seams are the edges are, you know, sticking out, or are I can't think of the word I wanted to use. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying, Kathy. All right, so we're going to put this right through all that mesh. She will. You know, you got to do what you got to do. All right, now, when you put your bow on, do the same thing. You don't want to pull it too tight. If you pull it tight, then your center is going to look sunk in. Watch. Ready? See what happens if I pull it? It sinks in the center. Doesn't look pretty like that. You want it sitting right up on top, but you don't want it to flop around. So there it is. Take that needle off. Thank you. Exposed. See, Teresa, you know what I'm thinking. Good night, Judy. Thank you for joining us. All right, we're going to go right around the frame. Oh, I'm sorry your head's hurting. I hope you feel better. Yeah, headaches are the worst. All right. So wrap that around a couple times. Hey, Judy, how are you? I am back in the craft room. It was a long 2 weeks. So I don't know if you noticed, but on this bow, I did all my 2.5. I did short tails on those. So see, they're up here. They're short tails. But on my 1.5, I did long tails because I can curl and play with those. I just wanted something different, so that's why I did that. And then we'll probably put a little shamrock in the center. All right, so there's the bow. All right, let's see. Do we want the green dark one or the light one? You know what? We need to put it. I think we're going to put his sign over there by his hand, I think. We may not need all these shamrocks. All right, so there's the dark one. And these big shamrocks came from the Christmas tree store. So if you have one of those, they had a lot of them. That's also where his little sign came from. All right. So we're going to use this one. Trying to see which side I like better. I'm cutting the stick. I'm just looking to see where I want to put it. So we don't need it very long. This will be fun. It's got a little dowel. It is wood. So this will probably hurt. Let's see if I can do it with my left hand instead. There we go. That'll work better. Let me see if I like that or not. Whoops. I don't know if I like that one. I'll show you guys here in just one sec. Maybe I might take the stick all the way off of it. Let's try it that way. I have another one if I need it. There you go. That's all you got to do. I think I'm going to put a wire on the back of that. I still don't know if I like that one though. You know what? We have these. What do you think of that one? Let's see if I like that one better. Oh, I think I might. You like that open one better? Okay, Nancy, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Have a good night. Yeah, I think I like the open one better. There's just some, I don't know what it is about this one. It just doesn't look right to me. Up close, it's not that great looking. But I do like this one. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And then we'll put his little sign over here. Maybe he'll be holding his little sign. Yeah. Oh, thank you. All right, so I'm just going to hit this with some hot glue on these edges of the leaves. And this is going to stick to that mesh really good. But if you don't like to glue it, then you can also use wire and do both. Just pulling out. And I can always go in here and put some wire in the back. I'll just put a pick in there with some pipe cleaner attached. Yeah, that one's a lot better. All right, so there it is with that. All right, so this is going to go over here by his arm. Yeah, he's going to be holding it. All right, I put a pipe cleaner on the back. I'm going to use my needle here. And we're going to do the same thing with that we did with the bow. We're just going to stick this right down into that mesh. And tie it off. That quick, it goes through. I get so many people that send me messages telling me how much they love those things. All right, there is his sign. And we're going to curl these ends up here. All right, so there is the ribbons curled. All right, let's add some more shamrocks in here. I have these little picks. They came from Craft Outlet as well. And they're just styrofoam. But I don't know why they're in such long sticks. They don't need to be that long. And then we're going to put some in the bow too. We want to decorate our bow. All right, let's cut these down. We don't need them that long. Probably can even do them shorter. Let's see, I want one in the bow. So I'm going to cut it down probably even more. Yeah, I don't think, let me see. Change 1,520 here. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Thank you, Judy. Have a good night. I know we're running a little long tonight. I'm sorry. But I do want to put this somewhere over here. Those wooden ones we're going to put on the outer side. I'm going to cut this one down too. Going to tuck these in here. Uh-oh. Time for another glue stick. All right, that takes care of that. Let me get rid of these ties over here. All right, let's see. I don't want him to look like he's got to go to the bathroom or anything like that, but we're going to take this one. Actually, you're not even going to be able to see it. I guess we won't be using those. That's it then. I got one more here I'm going to put in. Let me see. I still think he needs to be holding one. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to put this one in his hand. Just need to hold this here for 1 second. All right. I think that's going to do it for us, guys. I might look at it later once I hang it up and see if I need to add anything else to it. I might add some more of the shamrocks or whatnot. But for now, I think that's it. Yeah, that's going to hold better now. So let me hold them up so you can see. There's Mr. 2021 Lucky. It's like a beauty pageant, huh? Here's our 2021 Lucky. Lucky Leprechaun. So yeah, I might go through the outside and put in some more. I need to cut these wires off is what I need to do. They're sticking out. So I just want to thank all of you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Welcome to all of our newbies. Anyone watching the replay, thank you. I want to thank Susan for helping me out. And of course my daughter for serving up our drinks earlier. And I hope you all have a great rest of your week and enjoy your weekend if I don't see you on Friday. But I will be back on Friday afternoon at 2:30 Eastern. So if you're available and not busy, come on by and say hi. And let me show you something else. So I told you I was going to show you what I picked up this weekend. I'm going to have some of these listed in my shop. Look at this. Aren't those cute? Oh, they're so soft. I have them in pink and yellow. I only have a couple. But I'm going to get these listed tomorrow. I have to get pictures taken so that I can list them. And then I also have, here's the yellow one. I'm also going to have these. I have, let me get them out of here so you can see it. I have a green one, the blue one, and the pink one. So those will all be in my shop, hopefully tomorrow. Get them all done and take pictures, get their measurements. Yep, if you want one, just message me, and when I get everything up, I'll let you know. But I only have a couple of each of the sugar bunnies, and then one of each of the others. So there we go, guys. There's our wreath for tonight. I want to thank you all so much for joining me again. And enjoy the rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend if I don't get to see you. Be safe, be healthy, and be kind. And I will see you all again on Friday. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me.